Hello there, great person, and welcome to Let's Watch Another SCP. So, sponsored kind of by Anthrax Crabs. Thanks for your sponsorship, so to speak. We are going to take a look at it. So, apparently, it is a physics one. So, we're going to have some fun. For all the people watching that don't know my background, I am currently teaching physics and psychology at a German university, like a mishmash of that. And I love horror. My favorite genre. That's why I sometimes watch SCP. I haven't watched an SCP in a year, perhaps longer, because so much stuff was going on. I love them though. So we will today watch SCP-2460, the Dark Satellite, a safe Kita, and we will see what it is by the Volgoon. And obviously you please go to that video first. Listen to it because he's doing all the good voice work. So yeah, give that dude all the love, all the subs and all the good stuff. And we'll just get into it. So I will watch the whole video and then we will comment, because I found that I immerse myself better than in horror. And yeah, we'll just have some fun here. So without further ado, let's get going. Also, if you like horror, check out my own horror series, which is also narrated on YouTube by a professional. You can check it out in the pinned comment, but we'll now start. Have some fun. Don't forget, as I said, to like and subscribe. Here we go. Ooh, good old SCP title. Let's have some fun, man. Dark Satellite. Why is it dark? So a satellite doesn't need to be man-made.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Hi.
My name is Dr. Miller, and the SCP we're going to be looking at today
Miller
is
Dick from The Expanse.
2460. Object class, Keter.
I love the image already.
Safe.
Oh god. Why is it not safe anymore?
Due to its position and properties, SCP-2460 is not contained at this time. Space agencies are to be informed of SCP-2460's trajectory so that satellites and launches do not collide with SCP-2460.
Yeah. So satellite is just an object orbiting a planet.
SCP-2460 is to be listed as a large piece of space debris.
Yeah.
No object is allowed within 50 kilometers of SCP-2460.
Ooh, that's unlikely to happen.
Any matter colliding with SCP-2460 must be reported to the Astronomical Tracking Unit at Site 195 immediately.
How is space faring in SCP universe? Do we have it?
Schwarzschild radius of SCP-2460 must be remeasured and its resulting new orbital trajectory calculated.
Schwarzschild radius?
Description.
Why would it have one? Is it a black hole?
SCP-2460 is a gravitational anomaly in elliptical orbit around the Earth. It has an orbital period of 4 hours, with a furthest distance from the surface of the Earth of 12,430 kilometers and a closest approach of 395 kilometers.
Oh, brilliant. So it's close to the ISS.
Anomaly indicates it has a mass of 1.24 times 10 to the power of 13 kilograms. At the location of the anomaly, there is an apparent object of approximately 50 by 30 by 15 meters. This gives the object a measured density of 5.51 times 10 to the power of 8 kilograms meters squared, which is approximately 100,000 times the density of the Earth and close to the density of a white dwarf star.
Yeah, it's not a black hole though yet.
The shape of this object is variable in appearance, with components of different materials appearing to erupt from the surface of the object, only to be reabsorbed.
Oh, that's awesome.
Furthermore, the object is virtually invisible to electromagnetic radiation and has no measurable charge, magnetic moment, or wave emission.
That's weird.
However, despite this behavior, photons in the visible light spectrum still interact with the object, albeit at a low albedo of 0.01. The anomaly behaves very differently on the quantum level.
Let's see what it does.
SCP-2460 is comprised of bosonic matter that anomalously maintains much of the structure of fermionic or normal matter. This anomalous construction causes the Pauli exclusion principle not to apply, allowing non-matter to occupy the same quantum state as other similarly composed bosonic matter. In addition, electromagnetic interaction is suppressed. As a result, the bosonic electron fields between objects in SCP-2460 do not repel each other.
Yeah, it wouldn't matter though.
The net result of these anomalous quantum effects is that multiple individual objects within SCP-2460 occupy the same place at the same time. What appears to be objects growing out of and receding into SCP-2460 is actually thousands of co-locating objects oscillating about the gravitational center of the anomaly.
That's fun. That's
the
really
exceptionally high mass of SCP-2460 is the result of these thousands of individual objects occupying the same location, all gravitationally bound together.
Really interesting.
It is important to note that this co-location is not spatiotemporal distortion, but the net result of the lack of interaction between individual objects in the anomaly. There is no risk of a reversion to a Euclidean space because the space is already Euclidean.
Okay.
The influence of the gravitation of thousands of objects acts as a strange attractor, keeping each individual object within 105 meters of the center of SCP-2460.
Yeah, I mean, if it's a small dwarf star, I would assume it does that,
The chaotic nature of the attractor has caused multiple objects to be shown at the surface of SCP-2460 at different intervals. Most of the items expressed are space dust and rocky debris similar in composition to asteroids.
Interesting. Okay.
The following items are notable, however.
Okay, let's go.
A planetesimal with the above dimensions of 50 by 30 by 15 meters. This item acts as the surface of SCP-2460. Of note is the distinct lack of cratering on the surface. A comet nucleus of approximately 5 meters in diameter. Visible spectral analysis suggests that the object's original location was the Oort cloud.
Okay, I mean, that makes sense.
A spacefaring vessel of unknown make, 10 meters in length. The hull is covered with unidentified symbols.
That's awesome, I love it.
Through a plate glass window, two beings are visible,
no.
apparently long deceased and desiccated, resembling crocodilian humanoids.
Of course, reptilians.
Approximately 1,000 metric tons of hydrogen and helium, compressed under gravitation into a superfluid state. 90 capsules, each containing a single humanoid occupant, each co-locating independently from the others. The occupants are apparently dead and desiccated.
Brilliant.
Foundation probe OU
So don't get too close or you will join
Agent
this.
Rick Roberts, deceased. See Addendum 2460B.
Ooh, yeah, we got a story of someone flying into it. Poor
2460A. On 2/15/2013, a stray orbiting steel bolt attached to a retaining plate from the disaster was seen to be captured by the gravity well and collide with SCP-2460. It was observed that the collision caused no impact site and the bolt passed through the matter without hindrance. However, post-collision, the bolt and plate no longer registered any electromagnetic field deformation. Further observation demonstrated that the bolt remains attached to the plate, confirming that the co-location effect of items caught within the anomaly does not extend to items that are exposed within milliseconds to it.
I mean, that's fair, yeah.
This observation further suggests that all objects seen in SCP-2460 were, at one time, normal fermionic matter, transformed by the anomaly into the presently seen amalgamation.
That's such a fun thing. I mean, it's not scary, it's just cool.
Of the subatomic particles, transforming the matter from fermionic to bosonic.
Yeah, that's bullshit. But it's cool. Like, I like the principle. That's not how fermionic and bosonic works. I like it though. Like, it's a really cool, very well worked out idea. Like, this part is where it really broke, but until here it was pretty good. Like, scientifically, this is very good. I like it. It's really cool.
Within 70 kilometers of Foundation Orbital Unit 11. And a sortie was authorized to intercept the anomaly for quantum measurements.
Brilliant.
Agent Rick Roberts was sent in to probe OU-11-3 to examine the anomaly at close range for testing of the quantum signature of the matter within the object.
What does that mean?
Radio contact with probe OU-11-3
what are you talking about? What is a quantum signature?
Came within 5 kilometers of the central mass. Fun. Approximately 0.5 seconds before loss of contact, apparent density of the low Earth orbit medium seen to increase from 1.0 times 10 to the power of minus 11 kilograms per meter cubed to 7.3 times 10 to the power of minus 9 kilograms per meter cubed. All remaining data from the experiment comes from the cameras aboard Orbital Unit 11.
What does it show?
Roberts quickly noted the lack of radio contact and engaged thrusters to maneuver away from SCP-2460. The fuel was seen to ignite and pass ineffectually through the hull
black hole
and
almost,
cabin of probe
really.
OU-11-3. Unable to adjust position or trajectory, probe OU-11-3 was gravitationally captured by SCP-2460.
I love this one. Like, this is more cool than scary, but it's really cool. Such a fascinating idea.
15,534 kilograms added to the mass of SCP-2460. Trajectory and Schwarzschild radius recalculated. Containment procedures updated to include a mandatory distance of 50 kilometers.
Obviously.
Addendum 2460-C. Transcriptive lecture regarding SCP-2460 on 4/3/2015.
Man, that, like, I know there are some things that are just wrong,
Presenter,
but it's so
Dr.
well thought
Cornelius
through.
Argent,
It's so much fun to
Principal
listen to this, man.
Astronomical
I love stuff
Phenomena
like
Division.
this. It's stuff I would write, I
Forward.
think.
Dr. C. Argent presents the results of his observations and experiments with SCP-2460.
Yeah,
Begin
please
log.
do.
Good evening and welcome. I want to thank everyone for coming this evening. Tonight, I'm going to explain what exactly SCP-2460 is and the risk it represents for the Earth.
It's strange
I
matter.
could explain the fermion to boson conversion called quantum spin annihilation, explain how this interaction is possible under a version of supersymmetry, a transformation of quarks to squawks, so on. But I'm sure that would go
Okay,
over
now he's
with
just
your
pulling
head.
stuff out of his
You could
ass,
learn
but
it
it's
all,
fun.
but you're here to understand what this is and what it means. I'll spare you the physics. I'm sure you've heard stories of walking through walls,
Yep.
ghosts, radio waves,
Indeed.
certain anomalies, etc. Phasing is a popular term for it. In essence, SCP-2460 is a collection of objects.
Yeah,
Asteroids,
that's true.
comets, nebula material, stellar mass, and more, all phasing around each other. It's important to recognize that this phasing is the sole reason all these objects exist in the same place at the same time. This is not a spatio-temporal distortion. At least, not anything more than is fully and non-anonymously explainable.
I really
by its
love
gravity
the
alone.
idea they are doing. Like,
However, what is less
that's so
explainable
cool.
is the
Yeah.
lack of electromagnetic interaction within SCP-2460. Firstly, this means that there is no radio communication possible with anything within the anomaly.
Yeah,
Radio
that's
waves pass
bad.
through it as if it wasn't there. This is also what leads to the phasing effect we see. You know how we are made of atoms, and atoms consist of a nucleus surrounded by an electron cloud.
Yep.
These electron clouds are negatively charged and push each other away, and that's why we can't walk through walls. But within
not really,
SCP-2460,
but it's
the
close.
electron
It's the
fields
spin,
between
though.
objects
He's correct in
introduced
that.
at separate times don't interact, don't push against each other, and as a result, don't stop objects from passing through one another. But wait, you're probably asking, isn't the photon the gauge boson for the electromagnetic interaction?
Yeah, indeed it
Why
is.
do we see anything? Okay, you're likely not asking that, but I did. First thing, truth is, we don't see most of SCP-2460.
Okay.
Experiment 2460B proved that. We saw the medium density around probe OU-11-3 increase nearly 1,000-fold before losing contact. There is a cloud of massive particles that have nearly no interaction with normal matter extending as far as 5 kilometers from the central mass.
Yeah.
There are only two ways these particles interact: gravitationally and rendering normal matter that comes into contact
Basically
with it
a
out of
version
phase.
of dark
These
matter he's
particles
created
are
here. That's so
invisible
much
and
fun,
otherwise
man.
undetectable.
That's so
All
funny.
remaining mass was added subsequently, acting as an anchor for the particles. That's why we can see the massive object in the center. What's the risk from this? Well, it is exponentially dense, and thus perturbations from its present orbit will preferentially cause the orbit to decay, resulting in SCP-2460
That would be so
falling to
scary.
Earth.
Ooh, I love
Now,
it.
Since it remains phased out, collision with the Earth won't cause any impact crater. However,
I mean,
the
it would
quantum
just
spin
suck everything
annihilation
in.
will affect all matter the anomaly passes through, resulting in invisible holes of phased-out ground. SCP-2460 will pass unhindered through the center of the Earth,
Yep.
transforming matter the entire way,
Yeah.
leaving a giant hole through the center of the
No,
Earth.
it was just close
that
up
the
as liquid, yeah.
mantle and core will gush into.
Yeah, okay,
The crust
yeah.
and surface eventually falling, unsupported, into the hole. But it won't end there. The momentum in SCP-2460
Yeah, it's
will
like
propel
the
it all
black
way
hole
back out of the center of
oscillation.
the
Yeah,
Earth,
this is
back to
so
the
cool,
surface,
man. I
where
love
will
it.
gravitationally oscillate
I
back
love
and
it.
forth,
Yeah,
back
yeah.
and forth,
It will,
rendering more and
but
more
it
of the
will
Earth
stop
out
at the
of phase with
center.
itself like Swiss cheese,
Yeah.
until the entire planet collapses into a central, super dense pile of untouchable rubble. constituting a QK class quantum degeneracy.
I love that. It's basically a black hole, though, in that case.
So, I'm sure you agree that we want this thing as far away from us as possible. The problem is we can't touch it.
Yeah, that's bad.
We can't use thrusters to push it away. There's nothing to push against. We can't deflect it with magnetic fields.
Yeah.
There's no electromagnetic
That's the
interaction.
horror. But it's basically the horror of a black hole falling to Earth, you know?
That means that we will need to tow an asteroid of similar mass into low Earth orbit to carefully slingshot
But
the
you
anomaly
can't.
away from us, then destroy the asteroid somehow. An asteroid approximately 22 kilometers in diameter should
I have
contain
to
enough
see the
mass to
Mars
eject the anomaly.
again.
Recommendations have been submitted to O5
Yeah.
Command. But I'm sure you actually are all asking, what is this? And why did it end up here orbiting
Yeah,
around the
why?
Earth?
Why did it end
Well,
up here?
it's an amalgamation of weakly interacting massive particles, invisible to electromagnetic radiation.
Okay, so they use
emitting no
WIMPs.
radiation of its own,
Yeah.
and possessing only
That's one of
gravity.
the... Yeah,
In
that's
short,
one of the...
ladies and gentlemen, SCP-2460 is dark
Yeah,
matter.
that's like WIMPs are one of the
And when you
things we have
consider
for
that
trying to
fully
model dark matter.
85% of the mass in the universe is dark matter, we should not ask why we are so unlucky to have a chunk of it orbiting
That's so
around the
fun,
Earth.
man.
We
That's
should
such a
ask,
fun
why are we so
ending.
lucky
Yeah.
that we haven't hit any of this stuff yet?
Yeah,
Thank you, and good evening.
that was so much fun, man. That's
End
cool.
log.
That's so cool. Was that it?
This concludes
No, okay.
today's lecture.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Thank you for listening, if indeed you still are.
Okay, so we will go to the SCP site so I can comment on some details. That was fucking awesome. Like, this is sci-fi stuff you want to write. Like, it didn't work. There were some glaring logic errors, but like the central idea was basically using very primal scares that you have as a scientist student, basically the black hole and dark matter and like the inevitability of death in the universe. Love it, man. That was so much fun. That was cool. I could point out where it's, I'm unsure if I should point out where it went wrong. I will actually just talk about the stuff, even though some of that is not my area of expertise, obviously, like quantum physics is, but the other stuff not. So you have to fact check me on everything, please. I am sometimes a bit, you can't do everything just like off the cuff, but I'll try my best. So SCP-2460. That was a fun one. It was someone who knew a lot, though, in physics that wrote this. A lot. And I would argue it's fine that it didn't all work. But yeah, let me see that I get full screen of this. Okay, so we have it here. I will zoom in a bit. Okay. So let's start. I don't know why they calculate the Schwarzschild radius. I guess like the Schwarzschild radius is basically the radius a mass has to have to turn into a black hole. So if a certain mass is compressed below, like stronger than its Schwarzschild radius, it basically becomes a black hole. That's the rule. So you basically measure mass through that. Like it's basically like it sounds cool, but what I would assume is what they do is they just try to calculate what mass it has. But then again, why the Schwarzschild radius when it measure the mass? Because they don't know all the mass it has. They said that, so I don't know why they do the Schwarzschild radius. Why would they do that? I mean, it led me into the association with black holes instantly, so perhaps that was the point, but I don't know why they would do that. Like, why would you do this? It's like, yeah, okay, it's like for example, the Schwarzschild radius of the Earth is a millimeter, something like that. So if you compress Earth into like something like this, then it becomes a black hole. So how much mass does this have? So we do know this. Also, it has an elliptical orbit around Earth. Orbit period 4 hours. How quick is that? I would have to calculate that. I will actually look up how much this is. Yeah, so it is basically an asteroid, what they said. So an asteroid has a Schwarzschild radius of basically, I don't even know, a micrometer less. So why would you calculate that? I don't know. Anyway, so we do have 50, 50, 15. That sounds right. Okay, so the density of a white dwarf star. Okay. So it's like close to becoming a black hole, but we don't care if it hits Earth. It's like this. The effect is basically the same as a black hole here, because it just acts gravitationally. So you circumvent the problem of needing enough mass to collapse. So you basically made a strange matter. Do you know the movie End Day, where they show 5 scenarios of the end of the world? They basically had strangelets. It's basically a state of matter that turns every other state of matter into itself. So everything becomes just one matter goo thing. Yeah. So okay. So it is basically just an asteroid. And it's only 100,000 times the density of the Earth. So it's not that much. It's not that much, I would say. Like, yeah, it is pretty dense, I guess, but it's not that much. It's basically a 22-kilometer asteroid compressed into 50 meters. Like, yeah, that's a lot, but you know what I mean, compared to a black hole, nothing. So it's not that dense. It's really not dense. But yeah. Okay, so components of different materials appearing to erupt from the surface of the object only to be reabsorbed. Why would that happen? So the only so we have the object, it's only gravity that is affecting, and there's another object falling in, so it would just do this, oscillate into the middle. It would probably also wait. It wouldn't even interact with anything, so it would just forever ping pong in the same. So it would oscillate regularly, I guess. Oh no, it's chaotically because you have many interacting problems. Like it's a multi-body problem. Okay, yeah. I like how thorough this is. So it is virtually invisible to electromagnetic radiation and has no measurable charge, magnetic moment, or wave emissions. This is weird because they later say it is consistent of, for example, electrons and stuff, and they have a charge, it's conserved. It has nothing to do with spin. The electron's charge has nothing to do with spin. Spin and charge are two different quantities, so to speak, you know? It's like mass and volume. No, mass and charge don't have anything to do with each other, or mass and lumen, or mass and voltage, or amps. You know, it has like, it's completely different concepts. Or momentum and mass. Momentum and angular momentum. Like, yeah, you could create formulas that link them, but it's not the same. They're like completely fundamentally different things. So magnetic moment, yeah, that's spin, but charge is not spin. Charge has nothing to do with spin. And electric charge and spin, they don't have anything to do with each other. So I don't know why there would be no electromagnetic interaction if you have the things converted. Because the bosonic state has nothing to do with charge. So everything loses its charge as well. So it loses its spin and its charge, which would basically mean no structure anymore. There's no structures apparent. Like nothing could have a structure. So because the so nothing could be showing, like nothing could be coming out. Like every information basically is destroyed. And I use that term a bit lightly, but it's basically what happens. Like if there's a spaceship, loses all charge, loses all spin, would be pulled together by gravity. Like you can't do anything. Like atoms might be stable if the strong and weak interacting forces are there, which they probably are not as well. They don't talk about them here, but like it's just gonna be a lump of shit. Like no structure could reappear. That's why I said during the video, oh, I know what they want to do. So they want to basically do, okay, we have objects and they cannot interact with each other anymore, so they can go into the same place, but the gravity is still there. So it's they stay in the same shape and they just mesh into each other and sometimes get out. But that's not what they describe here, not at all. It's the cool concept, and they try to do this scientifically, and it's a very interesting approach, but it's not it's not how it works. Still, it's cool. Like it's really creative approach to this idea, like the idea that you're out of phase. Basically, you can't interact other than with gravity, so you basically can float into each other. But if this is true, the structure wouldn't be contained, so you would just go immediately blob. If you touch it, you're a blob. So yeah, you couldn't restructure it. And also it goes near Mir, like I think 250 kilometers is ISS, so it's going pretty far, pretty fast. Yeah, and this bosonic matter. Bosonic matter, so bosonic means it has a spin of 1 or 0. For example, photons have a spin of 1. That is why photons can be in the same state. And what that means is they can all, for example, if you have the double slit, photons all do have the same, if you take 2 photons into the double slit, they all have the same state. They have the same state of being the wave, that goes through the slit and goes to the screen, and then you measure a dot somewhere. But every photon you send at the screen has the same properties. Or laser light, there is no laser particles you can distinguish or anything. It's just it's light. You can't distinguish photons by because they have different properties. It's only energy they have, and every it's basically photons can have the same energy. They can be in the same state. That's what it means. As for spins, the Pauli exclusion principle is basically, if you are in a quantum system, you cannot have the same spins and the same wave function. I think let me actually see the exact phrasing. Okay, yeah, so it's exactly what I said. It's like the quantum state. 2 fermions can't be in the same quantum state in one system. So that means if you have the system of an atom where electrons are in the atomic shell, they can't be in the same quantum state. So you can't have 2 electrons in the first orbital, or if you go classical, the first orbit, 2 electrons orbiting, you can't have more than 2 because one is spin up, one is spin down, and this orbit only allows that. Same for the nucleus, by the way. Same for the nucleus. Nuclei are stable because of this principle, so they also do circumvent it. So if you have a nucleus with protons and neutrons, the protons and neutrons are also, through the Pauli exclusion principle, in different states. So there's one proton in spin up, one proton in spin down, and so that's also you have the same, you also have an orbital model in the nucleus. The nucleus is also described by an orbital model, so to speak. It's not completely the same because the radius is different, the radial component, but you do have something like an orbital model for the nucleus as well. So if this were true, if it loses the fermionic properties, you would have no nuclei and no atomic shells. No nuclei, no atomic shells, everything mush. Doesn't even matter if there's electric. Doesn't matter anymore. So yeah, but that's what it means. Allowing matter to occupy the same quantum state as other similarly composed bosonic matter. Yeah, and that's the thing. It's true. It allows the matter to show the same quantum state, but that just means it's just the same in everything. In everything, it's the same. So you can't distinguish it anymore. It's basically a blob. You basically put something into a blob. And it's not about position. If it's in the same quantum state, it does not mean it's in the same position. It's not, because in quantum physics, position is meaningless. Position is just a projection from the quantum realm into our realm. And I'm using analogy here. So a position is just a projection. It's not the whole quantum object. So saying that saying this here, matter to occupy the same quantum state, yeah, it would just be mush, but it would just be the same thing. And electromagnetic interaction is suppressed, so no structure. No structure. And this is the leap where it breaks down. The net result of those enormous quantum effects is that multiple individual objects occupy the same place at the same time. No, the same state. Resulting, yeah, they can be at similar times, but it's all just It is all just properties. It's just particles, elementary particles being mushed together. And suddenly they are around each other in so the object can't have a structure. So this object can't have a structure if this is true. It can only be basically a mini black hole that's not completely black hole yet. So that it has a structure that's weird, but from physics, it is not what it is. So this is the wrong explanation for this object. So if this object exists and they observe it, they explain it wrong with the physics we have. So in universe, their explanation is wrong. Out of universe matter, writing stuff, what he or she wrote here is not this would not result in what we see, like not an object that where you can fall in and you phase through and oscillate through. No, you would just be mushed. It's basically a black hole, but you wouldn't be crushed by gravity, but it is nothing holding you together. So it's basically an opposite black hole. Like it's not that it's not that everything is really crushed into each other, but it's like the things holding particles apart are just gone. So they just flubber together. It's not as bad as a black hole, but it's basically a black hole. It's basically a black hole. It should look like a black hole as well. So anyway. See, like this oscillating, yes, they can oscillate like they would oscillate, but they wouldn't be structured anymore. Here it says no, like this is like a bit mumbo jumbo because Euclidean space is not what a quantum space is. So I don't know why they throw it in here. Yeah, and then they say, yeah, objects appeared from it. Yeah, so we will just assume this works. It doesn't. I already explained why, but let's assume it works. So that's really cool. Like it's really cool. I'm just physicking here. So, yeah, I love that it has the strange attractor here. That's funny. And yeah, so we do have what it looks like. Shouldn't be possible, but I said that. So comet nucleus, 5 meter diameter. So from the Oort cloud. The Oort cloud is, I think we currently know it exists. Some people doubt it, I think, but I do think it exists. I think I know that. You have to look it up. It's basically the debris dust cloud around the solar system from its inception. Yeah, then the weird aliens, that's funny. Like, why would the aliens, like, there is something about this that's like planned. Like, there are no aliens inside. Like how, like we haven't seen aliens yet, so perhaps in SCP they have, but yeah, so there's also crocodile aliens inside. Like, come on, what the fuck? How, like because they must have been like, yeah, let's go to Earth. Let's, I don't know, make some holiday on Earth and like troll some humans with our reptilioid appearance. And oh, there's a black hole thingy that, oh no. For aliens, like they needed to be headed for Earth. Perhaps this is a reference to another SCP. Yeah, also you wouldn't have hydrogen and helium. If they are not fermionic, I think the person writing this forgot that nuclei are also fermionic. That's actually cool. But yeah, so this won't work. There's no hydrogen anymore, now helium. It's just elementary particles. It's basically just a plasma. 90 capsules each containing a single humanoid equipment. Yeah, I mean, okay. So, I mean, we go through this. So what is this? Okay, now with the bolt. Okay, it was observed that the collision caused no impact site. So it basically touches it, reshapes it like a strangelet. Yeah. I don't know what the electromagnetic field deformation is. Normally you can't measure the electromagnetic field of a bolt from so far away, so I don't know what they're on about. I guess it sounds fancy. Yeah, this here, like this is, so they have a way out. So it's hypothesized, it's wrong. That is not what it does. So we will assume it is doing stuff out of phase by means we don't understand. It's just we don't understand why it doesn't. So like all of what they say here is consistent. It's just their explanation is rubbish. So I guess that's my headcanon. Like this object, perhaps it exists and does what it does. That's reasonable. Like in universe, we just can't explain it. Why it does that. I love the idea of though like all these things like a bit oscillating around each other and phasing through each other. That's so cool. I love that. Love that idea. Yeah. So, yeah, then this thing here, yeah. Yeah, okay. So he tries to explain it. Quantum spin annihilation, nope. Wouldn't explain electromagnetic annihilation, even though it still happens. It's also like hand waved away, like, yeah, we don't feel the magnetic fields anymore, whatever. It's funny. I'm sure you've heard stories of walking through walls, ghost, radio waves, spacing is a popular term, it's a collection of objects, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, what is less explained is the lack of explanation. Yeah, that's weird. It's really weird. It shouldn't happen because the charge is contained. If something with charge falls in, either it destroys the charge, which is, it can do that. It's a weird sci-fi object, but like, why? I don't know. You know that we are made of atoms, and atoms consist of a nucleus surrounded by an electron cloud. These electron clouds are negatively charged and push each other away. No. No. The electron clouds have standing waves through quantum physics. So the electrons, like perhaps electron clouds. No, even electron clouds from different atoms. Like you can have hybridization. So that's rubbish. What he says here. No, electron squads don't push each other away. They don't do that. Now he transferred, or she transferred, the idea of an electron being a ball and located to an electron cloud being located, which is wrong. So this is a wrong image of an electron. The person is here that wrote this, but that's fun. That's fine. I had that as well, a long time. I so don't understand why there would be electrons still. Like, why would there still be structure? Yeah. Isn't the photon the gauge boson for the electromagnetic interaction? Yes. Why do we see anything? You don't need photons to see anything. We don't see most of SCP. Experiment proof that we saw the medium density. How did you see it increase? You have to calculate that from like the environment, and you can't measure this precisely. So how did you even measure that? I don't understand this point. Why do we see anything? What does that have to do with a photon? You can measure with other stuff. You can measure with elementary particles. With like, you could shoot something past it and look at the trajectory where it like is derailed or something. Why would you see with photons? Yes, photons are images, but... And this doesn't even solve it. He says like, yeah, you see this shape, but why would we see this shape if no photons can come out? And by the way, photons could just come out. Like, it's not a singularity. It's just like light could just come out. I don't know. Perhaps it's a shadow. I don't know. Yeah, so we do have it falling to the Earth core. We know that. I'm sure you can either... yeah. So, yeah, so they basically want to get an asteroid to fly through quick enough so it just drags it away. Very good plan. Just do that. I would just do that. It's pretty easy. That's actually pretty easy, I think. I think you could do that easily. I think you need more though, because you changed trajectory only a bit. So yeah. I mean, if you calculate the speed of the asteroid, I think you could do that pretty easily. Yeah. Okay, so that's good solution. So it's done. It's gone. Anyway. This is more like, ooh, dark matter is actually out there and it could get us. Isn't it scary? No, dark matter is everywhere, if it exists. Like, dark matter is just hypothesized. If we find it, it would be everywhere. Like, around us. It's here in my room right now, so it's not special. Yeah. So I like this though. It's like, ooh, what is it? I mean, it's a bit like the antimatter question. Like, we have matter here, but if matter and antimatter always are created at the same time, and we are matter now, should there be an antimatter area in the universe? Like, should there be matter and antimatter areas? So we might fly to stars that just annihilate us and we can't touch anything. Pretty dope. Anyway, that was awesome. I hope I didn't science you to death, all of you. It was fun, a very good concept. This is like, it makes no sense scientifically. If you really look at it, it is a good idea. It is very good, also very good scientific approaches to stuff, and just derailed because like this was, I guess, a physics bachelor's or master's level who wrote this, I think, or very well read. But like average a bachelor's or master's physics student, I think, like nowhere, like not a PhD in elementary particle physics or in quantum physics, because then the mistakes, or they were like, the person might have been like, yeah, okay, fine, those, like no one will know anyway. So, yeah, and but nicely done. I like the idea of like black holes and sure ending of the world and dark matter woven in as a scary thing. I like that idea. It was a lot of fun, but again, like this is one where I'm like, yeah, I know this is all bullshit. So like I'm scared, but I think someone who doesn't know this might be really scared because it sounds very plausible. So anyone reading this, please tell me in the comments, what did you think? Like, where was your point? Like, did you think this was plausible? Was there a point where you were like, no, this is not plausible? I don't know. Tell me in the comments, please. Also, I could do more SCPs if you have good ones. Tell me. Also, don't forget to read my own horror stories or listen to them for free on YouTube. Link in the pinned comment. See you around. Take care. Bye.